In January 2024, almost 11 years after he vanished into the dark Texas night, DNA finally confirmed what Brandon Lawson's family feared most. The bones found scattered in a field near Highway 277 were his. But what they still don't know is what really happened after his frantic 911 call. The call that, to this day, people still replay, trying to decipher the last words of a man who begged for help and was never seen alive again. He said someone was chasing him. He said he was bleeding. He said he was in the middle of a field. I just pushed some guys over. And then the line went silent. Brandon Lawson wasn't just a missing person. He was a father, a brother, a man fighting to get his life back on track. On August 8, 2013, after running out of gas on a desolate Texas road, Brandon made one of the most disturbing 911 calls ever recorded. Within minutes, not hours, he was gone. Search teams combed the area for days. They found nothing. No footprints, no blood, no phone, no Brandon. Until now, when the earth finally gave up what it tried to hide. But what happened in the space between the call and the silence? Was Brandon running from someone or from himself? And why did it take 10 years to answer the simplest question? Where is Brandon Lawson? Brandon Lawson, a 26-year-old father of 4, the man behind one of the most chilling 911 calls in true crime history. And while the discovery put an end to the question, where is Brandon? It opened a door to something even harder to answer. What really happened to him that night? Because even now, even with DNA to close the file, the mystery refuses to die. The phone call refuses to fade. And the truth still remains just out of reach. To tell Brandon's story, we have to go back before the radio static. Before the panicked words into a phone call that still echoes 11 years later. Back to a man who was trying, desperately, to fix his life. Brandon Lawson was a regular guy, born in Texas, spent most of his life in San Angelo, worked in the oil fields alongside his brother, struggled, yes, made mistakes, yes, but like many young fathers, he was trying to be better. His partner, Ledessa, described him as a good dad when he was home. His brother, Kyle, said he could light up a room when he walked in. He was 26. They had 4 kids under 7. Life wasn't easy, but it was theirs. Until the night, it wasn't. It was just after midnight, August 8, 2013. Brandon had an argument with Ledessa. He left home, frustrated, emotional, and got into his truck. His phone call to Kyle came about 12 minutes later. I ran out of gas. He didn't sound panicked. He didn't mention danger. He just wanted help. Kyle and his girlfriend, Audrey, hopped into their car. They grabbed a gas can, started heading toward him. Brandon told them he was somewhere south of Bronte, Texas, on the side of Highway 277, a long rural stretch of blacktop bordered by farmland and grassland. It was dark. No houses, no streetlights, no cameras, just the open Texas night. At 12:50 a.m., Brandon made a second call, not to Kyle, but to 911. For years, people have analyzed this call, slowed it down, replayed it, debated every word, because it didn't sound like a regular request for help. It was fragmented, rushed, breathless, and behind the words was terror. Yes, I'm in the middle of a field. My truck ran out of gas. There is one car here. The guy's chasing me. I need the cops. Please, hurry. Then, I just pushed some guys over. And then, silence. Was he running? From someone? Hallucinating? Injured? Whatever happened in that moment, Brandon believed he was in danger. When Kyle reached the scene 10 minutes later, Brandon wasn't there, but his truck was, parked oddly, half elevated off the road like it had just veered abruptly. They called out for him. No answer. Called his phone. No answer. Police arrived shortly after. They searched with flashlights, dogs, multiple vehicles. Nothing. It was like Brandon had just vanished into the night. Even more confusing? Cell phone pings placed him moving. Not staying in one place, not lying injured, but traveling deeper into the field away from the road, as if someone, or something, was chasing him. Over the next few days, strange details began to surface. Brandon had a warrant out for his arrest, but he didn't mention that in the 911 call. He called 911 about someone chasing him. But police said he didn't appear injured or bleeding when they found the truck. He told Kyle he was 10 minutes up the road, but his GPS later showed he was less than 300 yards from where the truck was abandoned. It didn't add up. None of it did. Police searched for 2 days. Volunteers returned months later. Still nothing. It was the kind of mystery nobody could explain, because nothing about it made sense. Here's where things get complicated. Brandon had allegedly used methamphetamine before leaving the house. People close to him said he was likely under the influence during the call. So the first theory is simple. He ran, panicked, hallucinating, maybe injured, maybe scared of imagined threats. But if that was true, wouldn't they have found his body sooner? The second theory? Someone was chasing Brandon. Someone whose identity mattered more than Brandon's life. For nearly a decade, Brandon's family lived in a kind of suspended grief, the kind where you mourn, but can't bury anything. The children grew older. Ledessa moved on, but her voice shook every time she spoke about that night. Kyle was tortured by guilt. Replay the timeline, and he always says the same thing. I should have found him. He was right there. But the truth was, no one ever did. In February 2022, a private search group combing the area discovered clothing and human remains just 800 yards from where Brandon's truck had stopped. But it would take nearly 2 years for DNA to confirm. It was him. 10 years. Silent. Unanswered. Unexplained. The remains confirmed a missing person, but they did not confirm a cause of death. No visible trauma, no reports of foul play, no recorded injuries to back the claim that someone chased him through the fields. That part still lives in the dark. Was Brandon Lawson a victim of hallucination, running from an enemy that didn't exist? Or was there someone out there, real and dangerous, who made sure Brandon never made it to daylight? The truth of what happened that night may never be known. Not with certainty, not with the clarity his children deserve. But one thing is certain. Brandon Lawson didn't just walk away. Something happened between that call and the silence. A mystery buried in the Texas dirt, now unearthed, but still unanswered. There are people who know the truth. There is a voice on a phone call, terrified but alive. And until we understand those last words, the mystery stays open. Tell us what you believe happened that night, because maybe, just maybe, it's not too late for answers. So now, it's your turn. Share this video, spread his story, and help bring clarity to a case that still keeps people awake at night. His children spent a decade without answers. We can't change what happened, but we can make sure the truth isn't buried again. Subscribe and watch our previous investigation. You just might have the answer that can help solve a case.